In the 15th and 16th centuries, the Aztecs ruled a large swathe of what we now call Mexico. They were also known in their time as the Mexica, which was derived from the mythical name Metzliapan, or Moon Lake. It was this name that would later be applied to the Mexican nation. The Aztecs migrated south from the northern plains of Mexico sometime in the 12th century and settled on the islands of Lake Texcoco, founding Tenochtitlan, which would remain their capital and chief center for the entirety of their empire. Here in this sprawling metropolis was the Great Pyramid of Tenochtitlan that rose 50 meters above the surrounding city. From the base of Tenochtitlan, alliances were formed with neighboring states, who were later made junior partners that needed to pay tribute to the Aztec emperors. This led to an expansion of the territory and population of the Aztecs. By 1519, there were up to 6 million people in the empire stretching across the central zones of Mexico. The capital itself was comprised of 5 square miles of territory and 300,000 inhabitants, larger than London, Paris or Madrid at the time. The Aztecs mastered irrigation and tamed the abundant swampland in their chosen homeland. It was this success in agriculture that formed the basis of their empire and drove their economy. Maize cultivation was particularly prominent and formed the core of the Aztec economy. Trade was done mostly with the other Mesoamerican groups, but the traders, known as Pochteca, traveled as far as the American Southwest. The Pochteca also doubled up as Aztec spies, bringing back information to the emperor about what other states were doing. The military was important to the Aztecs, and valor in battle was a steady way to progress within society. This society was gendered and class-based, but advancement was possible, and it wasn't a strictly rigid structure. At the top of the society were the nobility, followed by priests and bureaucrats, then the serfs, and finally at the bottom were the slaves. Aztec religion was syncretistic, meaning it took in elements of other Mesoamerican religions. It contained the cosmological beliefs of the Maya, and was entwined with a calendar, which was made up of a ritual cycle of 260 days and a 365-day civil cycle. Human sacrifice was practiced, with a still-beating heart was offered to the sun god, Tonatiuh. In 1519, Spanish explorers appeared, and it marked the beginning of the end of the Aztec Empire. Hernán Cortés captured Tenochtitlan just 2 years later in 1521 and built Mexico City on its ruins. From there, they would continue their conquest of Mesoamerica. The legacy of the Aztecs is balanced between that of skilled farmers that had a unique connection with nature and the cosmos, and that of barbaric practices and endless conflict. Either way, the state of Mexico is culturally in debt to this period of its history, and in the ruins and museums of the world, the legacy of the Aztecs lives on. Thanks for watching this 4-minute history on the Aztecs, and please look in the description below for books and movies you should check out for a more detailed and nuanced look at all things associated with it. If you found that interesting, you may be interested in another 4-minute history on an array of topics throughout human history. And finally, please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.